Yo, ErhymesSports in the building. Yo, what's up? It's finally here. Super Bowl 55. ErhymesSports preview show, giving you the flow, making the dough, gamble on the picks, and you do it. Listen, I don't encourage it. You do what you got to do. All right. But let's talk about the Hall of Fame and the postseason awards first, and then we'll break down the predictions. Okay. I mean, it's the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. My Super Bowl prediction was, what did I have? I had the Saints and the Ravens. Last year I had the Saints and the Chiefs. And I had the score right. But I did have Tampa and the Chiefs going far. This is going to be classic, right? The GOAT against the kid, all the hype. Now let's talk about the Hall of Fame. The two old members that I think are going in are Drew Pearson and Tom Flores. Now, we've got 4 new first ballot and, a bunch of different guys. Manning, Woodson, Jared Allen, and Calvin Johnson. I think 3 of them go in, not Jared Allen. I think he has to wait 1 year. Manning, because remember, only 5 go in, okay? So I think it'll be a total of 7, but 5 go in. So it's going to be Manning. I mean, I don't even need to get into all his stuff, right? With the 2 Super Bowls and the Colts and the stats. And he's a top 3 or 4 quarterback of all time, without any debate. Manning is the man. One with the Colts and the Broncos. Charles Woodson, the champion, right? With the Packers, was great with the Raiders. Cornerback, safety, all pro, just the man in Michigan. Charles Woodson's a beast. And then Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Short career, only 9-10 years, wide receiver. The Lions were terrible, but he was a handful. Like Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, and I don't know. He's just Megatron. Nobody was really like him. Jared Allen, I think, deserves it, but I think he'll have to wait 1 year. And then 2 guys who've been waiting a while. I think you could debate on offensive line, either Tony Baselli or Alan Faneca. I'm going to go with Alan Faneca. He's been waiting a long time. I think 9 or 10 years with the Steelers. He was great also with the Jets. Great offensive lineman. And then I think the debate will go, you could either look at John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Sam Mills, but I think it's going to be one of the receivers. Okay, Reggie White or Torrey Holt. And Torrey Holt's been waiting longer. I think he deserves it. Great champion, won with the Rams, greatest show on turf. Isaac Bruce went in a few years ago. I think Torrey Holt goes in for the Hall of Fame class to join those guys. All right. Now the postseason awards. MVP's Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Coach of the year. This was hard. Brian Flores deserves it for the Dolphins. But I got to give it to Sean McDermott because he took the Bills to that next level with Josh Allen and the boys, and they won a division title, but they had one of the best records in the league, one of the most impressive seasons and teams. So Sean McDermott gets that. Comeback Player of the Year. Originally, I went with a Big Ben, but come on, it's Alex Smith because the guy had 17 surgeries, and he's alive and didn't lose his leg, and he played well. Washington football team made it to the playoffs partially because of him to win that division title in that, terrible division, NFC least this year. Offensive Player of the Year, 2,000 yards, grown man strength, Derrick Henry, mushing cats, from Josh Norman, mushing them into the future. He mushed cats to 2030. So Derrick Henry gets in for the offensive player. Defensive player, my original pick, TJ Wizzat. Led the league in sacks, 47 tackle for losses, crazy stats. He got busy, stopping the run, deflections. All right, so respect him. Go Steelers. Then you have offensive player of the year. Defensive rookie of the year is Chase Young. There's no debate. He was a monster. Other guys were good, but Chase Young for Washington was insane. He's a game changer. Another Ohio State classic dude like the Nick and Joey Bosa guys. Probably even better. Offensive is the debate. Justin Herbert, I mean, he was so impressive. I didn't think he was going to do that from Oregon. He was a beast. But my guy, because they never give it to wide receivers, Justin Jefferson of the Vikings. He stepped in for Stephon Diggs and was just doing hip-hop and held it down. Very impressive, great season. So I got to go with Justin Jefferson. I think I covered all the awards. I guess, I don't know, fantasy player, whatever. You can give it to Mahomes, Kelsey. I mean, these guys all had great season stats. Henry, Taysom Hill, I mean, it's wide open. It was a great NFL season with COVID and everything, and, just all that went down, and they got through it, these off-season moves, there's a lot going on. We'll see what happens with the quarterbacks. Obviously, the trade Matthew Stafford. I think he'll take the Rams back to the playoffs. I don't know what Jared Goff's going to do with the Lions. The Lions are a mess. I don't like the hire of Dan Campbell. I mean, obviously, the NFL's got issues. No African-American head coaches hired. Washington did hire a general manager and also the the president of football operations. That's positive. What the Dolphins have, the coach and the GM down there, black. But Robert Salas was with the Jets. And, and one black coach hired, David Gully. Messing up his name. I believe it's David Gully. On the Texans, sorry. So 1 out of the 7. But, he was 65 years old from the Ravens staff, and that's not the long-term thing. Eric Bieniemy should have got a job. He didn't. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers will get traded. Sam Darnold could move. Let's see what happens with Kirk Cousins. Let's see what some of these other teams do. The Giants, Dak Prescott. What do the Bears do? Do the Dolphins move Tua? Where does Deshaun Watson go? Carson Wentz to the Colts maybe. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of movement. It should be fascinating. All right. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, and The Weeknd, he shouldn't be performing. He don't have no whatever. He's not ready for this, spot. He's got a couple of good songs, but he's not a star yet like that. Not a legend to be Super Bowl halftime. Hopefully the commercial's good. Let's get into the game and the predictions. ErhymesSports. Let's go. Yeah, what's going on? ErhymesSports. Yo, are you ready? Super Bowl 55? I mean, come on, this is what we've been waiting for. The first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium, the Buccaneers down at Raymond James. Listen, Patrick Mahomes going for his back-to-back Super Bowls, going for back-to-back MVPs, Andy Reid. The Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon's healthy, Sammy Watkins is back. They're missing Fisher and Schwartz, their tackles. That's a key. That's not good. But Sammy Watkins is back. Miko Hartman. Travis Kelce led them in stats and receptions and touchdowns and all that stuff. Him and Tyreek Hill are monsters. Okay? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, on not his best season, 38-6? For 4,700 yards. Ridiculous. Brady, he gave you 40-12 for 4,600 yards. And you've got the crazy. Now, let me finish with the Chiefs though. Tyrann Mathieu is going to be huge. Chris Jones, Spagnuolo, the coordinator. Remember, these teams played early on. Tyreek, had 200 yards at halftime or something? So, I think the one thing you have to understand and realize is that the Chiefs already beat them, and Tampa, my third favorite team. I'm a Steelers fan. Jets, the Buccaneers, because of my father and the Taylor family down in Florida. Go Bucks! Shout out to my cousin Bridget. They're going for their second Super Bowl. Chiefs won their first in many years, right? Since they beat the Vikings way back in the days with Len Dawson. And Brady's going for his 7th. When you think about Levante David, Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea's back to stop the run. JPP, Pierre Paul, right? Former Giant. Carlton Davis, the corners. Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to be playing. So you're going to have Fournette, and Ronald Jones looks like he's going to be able to go. You got Mike Evans and Godwin. Antonio Brown looks like he'll be able to go. Scotty Miller, Gronk, Cameron Brate. They've got weapons upon weapons upon weapons. When you look at both rosters, I think the Buccaneers have a better all-around, deeper roster. Maybe the Chiefs have more explosive players, from the running back, receivers, tight ends, quarterback. I mean, and the Honey Badger, man, he's a turnover machine. That brother is like, I'll take that, I'll snatch that, you know what I mean? So there's a lot to look at. I think one thing that I like about this game, or one thing I don't like, is obviously the rain. The rain can slow things down, but sometimes that can cause some corners to slip because they don't know where they're going and the receiver does. So it could make it seem like it could be in the 20s, but then because of that, it can make it seem like it's going to be in the 30s. All right. So snow might slow it down more than the rain, but we don't know how bad it's going to be, the storm, all that stuff. So keep that in mind. I'll say this, Bruce Arians, salute to him. He's got females on his staff. He's got 2 African-American head coordinators. Todd Bowles, and Brian Leftwich both could have got more interviews and maybe even a job. Byron, former quarterback for the Jaguars and the Steelers, and Todd Bowles, former head coach of the Jets, defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, bunch of teams. He's back with Bruce Arians. Doing a great job. No risk it, no biscuit. Bruce Arians, and Byron Leftwich, they like to go for it. So does Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, So nobody's going to play scared. This is like, these 2 coaches are here because they're willing to put it all on the line. I think at the end of the day, you're going to kind of go back and forth, and there'll be, maybe a turnover each, maybe 2. The turnover battle usually tells you who wins the game. Both teams, Spags and Bowles as defensive coordinators like to blitz and bring pressure, okay? The key is, do you double Tyreek Hill, double Kelsey, and then you're saying, okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire get 100 yards plus, and Sammy Watkins and Mecole Hardman have at it. They have to do something, and I think the thing is, this time they're going to really put pressure on Kelsey in the line of scrimmage. Avonte David and Devin White are fast linebackers. They can kind of press up on him. Their corners are healthy. They were not all there for the first matchup with Tyreek Hill. And they might have to play a little bit of zone, keep everybody in front of you, and not blitz so much. Selective pressure. I think they could get pressure with 4, especially with the tackles being gone, right? So the Chiefs should win this game. They should. I think for me, I'm gonna, maybe shock some people. I got to go with, I guess, the spread's 3.5 for a road team. That says a lot. But I have to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think that Brady finds a way to step out of the shadow of Belichick, has maybe the game of his life. Gronk helps out a little. Remember, he still blocks in the run. I do think Fournette and Ronald Jones will, combine, maybe get 18 to 20 carries. And the Chiefs maybe run it 15 times. Both teams should run it more, but I doubt you'll see that. Maybe even 20. Yeah, 20 carries for them. Because you got to kind of keep, them off balance. You don't want Spagnuolo having these guys blitz on Brady all the time because he can't move. Mahomes can move. So not having Schwartz and Fisher is an issue. But Patrick Mahomes can move, and he'd be like on the run, sideways, throw a dart to Tyreek Hill 15 15 yards down the field. The kid is no joke. At the end of the day, it'll be 33-30. Buccaneers will get the ball with 1:26 left on the clock. Brady drives them down to get in field goal range, and they kick the winning field goal, just like he did a lot with the Patriots, to win 34-33, 45-yard field goal, and the Buccaneers walk off and win Super Bowl 55. And Tom Brady and Mike Evans, Godwin, I think Evans gets a touchdown. I think he's going to try to get one to Gronk. I think Fournette gets one. AB can get one, you know, and then the 2 field goals. So, you know, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a special Super Bowl, and I gotta say the MVP, of course, will probably be Brady, but if they can get 2 turnovers, don't sleep on, you know, Shaq Barrett or JPP or Devin White, you know, depending on how he plays on Kelsey and the defense. But, you know, Hill and Kelsey will score. I think Edwards-Helaire gets in. And, you know, probably Sammy Watkins might catch one. They might get, you know, the field goal and maybe a safety. That's their 33. 34-33. You heard it first and last from your boy with the blast. Lyrically, you know I'm destined to outlast the Buccaneer, shooting you from far and near. Don't you understand that we're here, my dear? We get the chip, the miracle whip. Go Bucks. Don't you know the E has to flip more than the rhymes, shining the mind. Super Bowl 55, one of the greatest of all time. Buccaneers, 34-33. Peace. ErhymesSports.